Welcome to Talk Around Riyadh, the Wheel of Time showcast. I am your host, Joe Perry, here with my co-hosts, Jen Isgro and Tom Kokoza. How you doing tonight, Jen?
I'm doing good. Happy to be back here recording again on a Friday. It's really hot outside and it's really hot in this booth, but so is something else that we're going to be talking about tonight.
Oh, it's a lot of hinting.
So
towards this.
let's just get ready for that by being hot and sweaty.
Ooh, wow. You're going to want to hear this episode, everyone, because I'm not quite sure what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Tom, are you hot and sweaty?
I am hot and sweaty, Joe. I mean, I would venture to say I'm always the former, but I'm currently the latter. Yeah, it's an early August night here in New York.
I need to update my calendar. I didn't do it.
You do.
Oh.
All right, go ahead. You talk. I'm going to go do this.
No, it's fine. So yeah, it's an early August night here in the New York area, and the humidity is about 142 degrees. And I think the thermometer reading is somewhere in the low 200s. At least that's what it feels like down here in the basement recording studio. How you doing, Jen? Everything going well with you?
Yeah, everything's good.
I think we heard
working
from her
a lot
already.
lately. Yeah, we did. Too bad. You're going to hear from me again.
You're going to talk about how it's hot?
Really hot.
And sweaty?
She's been saying...
It's, all of those things.
Oh.
Okay, John.
I saw Deadpool and Wolverine today.
Oh, yeah.
It was good. It was very good.
I heard it was good.
Recommend. That's all I got.
And if Ryan Reynolds, if you want some more of that sweet advertising, you know where to find us.
Right.
All right, so we're doing a deep dive. We're doing a character deep dive today, but there is some news we did want to talk about before we do that. Some of this is old news. Some of this is new news. So forgive us. I'm going to start with the old news first. This is something I wanted to talk about in our last episode, but I just forgot about it. So let's make up for lost time. The Road to Tarvalon YouTube channel interviewed Sharon Gillam, who is the costume designer for season 2 and season 3. This was about 3 weeks ago. I'll of course post a link to the video in the show notes. So there was something interesting at the end of the recording. Sharon Gillam refers to the mention of a new character. She says, and this is mostly quoted but somewhat paraphrased, there's a character coming that is something else in season 3, not like anything from season 2 or anything you've seen before. There's something big. It was a major collaboration between the makeup and effects department. Rafe said that and then she talks about how, like, towards the end, I guess, Rafe says that Rafe said there's this really important, really complex character that's coming for one scene only in episodes 7 or 8. And then she said it's worth waiting for. So I posed the question to the two of you. Who do you think this character is? Now, I know we talked about it a little bit like a week or so ago, Tom, and you mentioned, I think, Alviarin, but I don't think this...
No.
Yeah. Now, with that doesn't sound like Alviarin to me. That sounds... Alviarin, I think, was something that Sharon Gillam kind of referenced with, like, an IG post, something with the white Aja or whatever.
Yes.
This sounds very different. Jen, you seem to have an idea.
Oh, somebody just put something in chat that's probably right. I was going to say a drag car.
Okay.
Oh.
But now I'm seeing something in chat that's by a Rosa. That's probably the right answer.
What's that?
The fin.
Yeah, I that's what I think as well. Someone else put.
But she's like character.
Yeah. Well, I think that you make it one fin, and then it's cheaper.
She said a really important, really complex character. Now, the fin would definitely qualify as important. Complex, I'm guessing she means... when she said complex originally, I thought like a complex character. Now I'm thinking maybe she means complex for her to do costuming for.
Right, or just to
Right.
build, being that it's a practical, it's like it's makeup and costuming
Effects.
together, working on it.
Yeah.
Makeup.
It's not going to
effects
be
and
like
costume.
Loyal because we already have one of those.
No, she said
And-
it's something that we've.
I know, something they've never
not
done
any-
before. I was
like
trying to think
anything
of
from
anything
season
that's
2.
not like a human person.
It
Right.
could be
Someone
another
else put in
creature.
someone else put in Semesta, which
No,
but I don't think
Oh.
that he would be in 7 or 8. Like that episode's probably gonna be episode 4. We think
Oh, you're saying if the flashback or
in the flashback,
the columns.
and I think that
Does Semester wear clothes?
I picture
guess,
him
right?
as a jolly green
I
giant.
guess
I don't
he's-
know.
Yeah.
Like a burlap.
I don't know why I just had an ent in my head. That's not what he looks like. So
No.
But yeah, I think it's the Finn. Yeah.
I didn't think of the fin, but I am very, very glad that somebody said that, because now that's another point in the fin. Listen, we're getting all these little bits of evidence.
episode 7
Or 8. Yeah.
or 8.
Which is, right where we think
Well,
it's likely, right? That's what we were conjecturing it would likely to be.
I think I had it earlier in my.
I thought you had it. I thought you had him go. Matt, you had Matt going in every single episode. Matt goes to visit the Finn, depending on what episode we talk about. But I thought you had the door. I thought you had the door in Tanchico, like during the finale, like when Matt's running around and just hides in a door.
I might have put that in there somewhere. What was it? Was this when we got the episode titles? We were talking about this.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I feel like every time the opportunity comes up to mention Matt going to the Finn, I think so. But I think it was the episode titles.
If this happens at the end of the season, I could get more on the bandwagon. Did you hear that? The bandwagon of
The
Matt
bandwagon.
going through one door and coming out another door in another location.
Well, that would make
I
sense
could
in episode
Get
7.
on board with him going through the door in Tanchico and then coming out. I think somebody already said this at some point, but coming out in Roydian during the fight with Asmodean
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
instead of when Rand goes through the columns.
Now,
And just like hearing there, maybe not hanging, but just like helping him or being whatever, being a part of that fight.
what
And
about
then continuing on with the Band of the Red Hand storyline in the next season.
What about Slayer though?
But
what
what is Slayer supposed to look like when he's Slayer?
It just looks like a person.
like
It looks Lance.
either? Yeah.
Oh, like the
Lance.
other guy. That's right. That's
Kinda
right.
looks
So
like
it's not
Lance.
like that's not a complicated makeup thing.
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
Unless they're making him look different, like
Yeah.
creepier or something.
Yeah, and I feel like Slayer shouldn't even be in the last episode of the Two Rivers. Almost like he should just be leaving.
Yeah.
Right? He's not really part. Like he's gone. Right? Didn't he leave before the Battle of Two Rivers? Memory serves.
I don't remember. Gabe's pointing
Like-
out that what if Luke is when he's Luke in the waking world, he's a person, but when he's in Teleron reality, he could be more like creature like.
I guess so. I feel. I mean, that's possible. I'm not going to say that it's not possible, but I feel like that's like the show deciding to spend money they don't have to spend. It seems like an odd decision for the show to make. Like, why would this guy
'Cause
looks
it's
like a guy in
cooler.
the book? Yeah, but the show, I don't know. It's possible. That's what I'm saying. It's possible. Like, I don't mind that idea.
Yeah.
I just feel like that doesn't seem like an idea that the show. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
The show is like, look, we're gonna keep them in Carrion all season because it's cheaper than having them travel.
Yeah, but when they did the Murdral, they didn't have to make it have a crazy mouth. It was just a white guy.
Yeah,
And they
that's
did
true.
that because it's
That's true.
creepier and it looks better on screen.
That's
That's
a good
true.
point, Jen. Yeah, I mean, they've made weirder decisions already.
Yeah.
So you mentioned before, I think Tom Drakkar, was that you who said that? I heard it.
That was
I said.
Jen.
That was Jen. Drakkar's a good one too. I like that.
That
That's
would only
not
be,
really
like, one
important
episode.
though, but I feel like they would say every character is really important, like people who work on the show.
I mean, it's yeah, it's not important, but it's like a new shadow spawn that we haven't seen.
Yeah,
So
I wouldn't say it's a
I don't know.
Drakkar. I don't know if we're taking her at her word. I don't think it's a Drakkar. I like Finn. I like potentially Creature Slayer. I doubt it's Sameshta. What's it called? Oh God, what do they call them? Green
I don't know.
Green Man?
Green Man. Oh, he's the Green Man, but isn't
Yeah.
there like
He
a
is
name
the
for
Green
those
Man.
creatures? Nim.
Nim?
Thank you,
Nim.
Gabe.
I said it first.
Sorry. All right, give all the credit to Jen.
Thank you. It was 1.2 seconds before you said it. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else unless it's because like no, I can't think of anything else that would be a humanoid creature unless like they're gonna bring the golem in very early.
But that's
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
complex, well, maybe not complex, but definitely an important character to the story if they use the golem. All right, I want to move
No,
on.
I think
Okay,
yeah.
go ahead. No, you have
No,
last
no,
thoughts?
no.
I
I'm
was going to
done.
move us along.
Move
I was going to
it on.
say, go check out the interview. It's a really good interview. Again, I'll put the link in the show notes. All right, next thing we have over here is a couple of days ago. It was announced by multiple news outlets, but I have a Deadline article here that Donald Finn will be playing Moriarty in the new Young Sherlock series on Prime Video, and that's going to be directed by Guy Ritchie himself.
wow.
And it's got the likes of Colin Firth and Joseph Fiennes, and what I can
They
only
all seem a
believe
little old to be
is no
young
well,
Sherlock.
Young.
Hero Fiennes Tiffin is playing Sherlock, who I don't know,
His
is he
son?
related to Rafe? Not Rafe, Joseph Fiennes. I don't know. He looks a little like him.
He has to be.
Maybe he's a nephew.
Maybe.
And Joseph Fiennes is playing his father, is playing Sherlock's father. So,
I mean, that makes sense.
but anyway, Donald Finn, our Matcham Cawthon, is going to be Moriarty in this. I have no idea how many. If this is just a one season show, I don't know if it's planned out for multiple seasons or it's just kind of like a limited series. It's based off of the book series. Well, was it a book series or was it just one?
Sherlock
book?
Holmes?
Not Sherlock, the Young
A
Sherlock.
lot of books. It's
No,
many books, Joe.
No,
Mostly
Young
short stories,
Sherlock
really.
was written by somebody else.
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
series of books.
It is a series, so potentially they could make this a multi-season show. And
What streaming service is this on?
it's on Prime.
Prime Video.
Oh,
He's
Prime
staying in the family.
Video. Wow.
Yeah,
Prime Video. Is that casted by KVH?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I'm gonna venture the answer is yes, but
I'm gonna
Venture
put.
it.
Let's see. AVH. Nothing's coming up on IMDb. So,
All right.
nope. It's casting by Daniel Hubbard and Rory Oakey.
Who are they?
Oh my.
I don't know. Some sort of second-rate KVH.
Well, good job, guys.
Although they did get
Yeah.
Colin Firth.
Good cast. Actually sounds like a really good casting. So good job.
Colin Firth as Sir Bucephalus Hodge. Bucephalus Hodge. That's a weird name.
Colin Firth. I was picturing Colin Farrell
No,
before.
Colin Firth.
Very
the
different.
older Colin.
Yes.
The British one. I guess Colin Farrell's Irish, I think.
Irish, I think.
Irish, yeah.
Anyway, congratulations to Donald. What do you think this means for the Wheel of Time?
Can we hear from Donald really quick?
Oh yeah, Donald, what do you think about this? We want to congratulate you on your new series. Can you tell us anything about it?
We got three of you here. Is it Jen, Joe, and Tom?
Oh, thank you, Donald.
That's correct. Yeah, no, I think it's good. I think his calendar is probably free enough that he can do 8 episodes of 2 different television shows every couple of years and still appear on the West End. So,
Well, his run at Hadestown's over at the end of this month,
That's what-
I believe.
Yeah, probably to start filming this.
Yeah, I feel somewhere, I can't find it though, but last night I could swear I saw somewhere that filming is starting soon and that it's going to come out this year, which I thought was bizarre if they haven't started filming yet. How is this going to come out this year?
I guess
it was probably wrong. Because I can't find
I mean,
the
that's
article
what
where I
other
saw
TV
that.
shows do.
Yeah, I mean, this
like
isn't probably
regular
highly special
TV
effects.
shows.
There's probably not a lot of CGI in this. It's going to probably be filmed in London, I'm guessing, or around it. I don't know. I can't find the article though, so maybe it was just a BS article and somebody took it down because it wasn't accurate. But however many or however much time it's going to take him to film this, he won't be filming the Wheel of Time. So,
That's okay.
yeah. And my final piece of news is a video that friend of the show, John, from the What Up YouTube channel, released recently, in which he shared that a source close to production, which he independently confirmed with other sources that he knows, said that season 4 is not yet greenlit and won't be until after season 3 airs, and only if it exceeds their expectations. So
They should probably release season 3 soon.
yes. Now, does this make you believe that they're going to release season 3 sooner rather than later then? Because if they wait till they could start writing it before they greenlight it, right? Because they'll just pay them to write it or whatever.
That rhymed.
Yeah.
Start writing before green lighting. Sorry.
So if they wait till the end of season 3 or whatever, halfway through, 3/4 through, whatever they decide to, look at the numbers, that's at the earliest, that's going to be what, the middle of next year? And then if they don't start filming till after that, that's like another 2 years. Maybe.
Yeah,
right?
well, I think that
Before
the speed of film to series, it should be back up to pre-pandemic days, barring any other strikes by any member of the creative community. But in which case, you're talking more about months and less about multiple seasons, of the year, or multiple years between when a show's done and when it comes out. But yeah, it looks like, to me, the most disheartening thing about this, because the rest of it, there was a lot of rending of clothes on Twitter, and people were really getting really worked up about this. Oh, dude, there's a lot of people being very, very upset about this news.
Wait.
But
I want to see the rending of clothes though.
Oh, well, no, it's a Twitter, man. It's a text-based medium.
Well, they could post pictures. No. I thought maybe you were saying there was some people like
Tom was just picturing it.
He's picturing as Tom is reading tweets. He's just picturing people ripping clothes off their bodies.
based on some of the hyperbolic answers that tweets that some people put here, that wasn't a hard thing to imagine. Most of what he's saying is just, hey, everyone, Prime Video is a business, and they're gonna decide whether it's worthwhile for them to continue to make this show or not. That's not anything I think that we didn't already know.
Yes. We knew Prime Video was a business before.
Right. And we knew that there was no commitment to just make 8 seasons of this show, and that they were going to have to decide whether they're going to continue to make. Do we have a timeline now as to when that's going to be? Yeah, but that's not set in stone either. All you need is one person who is a decision maker to see season 3 and like it and go, you know what, we're going to keep going with it. And then that's the answer, right? That's what it is. I think that, what makes that show successful, or what we've heard in the past, and I believe people from the show have kind of mentioned this again, what what Prime Video views as success is different than what like we think of as success for traditional television, right? It's not Nielsen ratings or ad revenue. It's like how many people sign up for Prime when the show comes out.
So is that a yes then?
What was the question?
I don't even know what your question was anymore.
I know, because you I don't think anything you said related to it, but maybe it did in the beginning.
No.
I asked whether them waiting to greenlight season 4 until end of season 3 means that season 3 is coming out sooner than we think.
Oh, you definitely said something after you asked that question.
I did not, did I?
I don't know why. Yeah, but whatever.
I don't think that's going to change any of their plans. When season 3 was going to come out, it's coming out. I think that's it. I also think that we have to
I'm not saying it's changing their plans. This is their plan. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying,
right, but you're saying,
I'm not saying they're going to move it up. Okay. I'm saying, was this the plan to have season 3 sooner than we think it's, everyone's talking about, next September or whatever. Like we think it's going to come out like March, April, kind of that area. Right. I'm not saying that Amazon's moving it up because they're not going to green light it. Like this, they knew all of this beforehand. This was their plan. We're just learning piecemeal things that are happening.
So you think that it's going to come maybe even earlier than that to give them enough time so that there's not a huge delay between season 3 and season 4.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
If they were to greenlight. That was the part that you said afterwards that made me answer the fact that there may not be a huge delay.
Okay.
Right? Sorry. Just remember now. Anyway, yeah, I think that end of Q1 is early enough for them. If they say go, like you said, I think that they already have an idea of what the storyline for season 4 is going to be anyway.
I'm sure Rich already has the whole series like kind of mapped out in a high level sense. So it's just writing everything and plugging the holes.
Yeah. They can probably turn around like production on things, as soon as people are available to go, I think.
Yeah.
So
I think we also have to remember that just because something gets greenlit doesn't mean you're going to see it.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Like Batgirl or whatever, Batwoman.
Just because it was filmed doesn't mean they're going to release it.
Just because, a whole movie. In the last 2 years, I can think of 2 full movies that have been filmed that we will never see or we're not supposed to see. They're both Warner Brothers movies, actually. The Coyote, Acme versus the Coyote or something.
Oh. I don't think anybody cares about that one.
I cared. Actually, everybody said it was supposed to be really good. At least
really good.
Like a family movie, but it's Coyote sues Acme for all the things going wrong. But it's like animation and live action together.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. Everybody that had seen it raved about it.
They said it was like it could have been like Space Jam and like revive the Warner Brothers cartoons again. It was that good.
You never heard of that. Like when things were being made, they were put out. Now it's like things can be like wiped from existence. Like Willow. We made. Oh, it's over. It's just gone.
Well, they canceled it.
Yeah, but it's gone off Disney Plus. You can't even watch it anymore.
Oh, well, that's because it's a streaming service and they could put on and pull off whatever they want. I mean,
it's annoying.
Before the streaming services, you wouldn't be able to go back and watch it if it aired on regular TV. You have to wait for them to show the reruns. You could buy it. I don't think they don't
sell things anymore.
Oh, or Disney doesn't. Disney does not allow you to buy a lot of their stuff.
I don't think.
You have to wait until they make it available so they can jack up the prices on you.
Like how many of us would buy season 1 DVD set or Blu-ray set of Wheel of Time or with
for the DVD
behind the scenes footage or
I don't have a
whatever.
DVD or Blu-ray.
You know what I mean? But I'm saying they don't even give you the option.
But 2 of us would, Jen, not 3.
At least 2.
Yeah.
I'd have to come over and watch it at your place.
Okay, we could have a whole party. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Let's do it. I
haven't watched a Blu-ray or DVD, and
I know I don't think I ever owned a Blu-ray player. Either. We had it on PlayStation, but now we don't even have that.
PS.
Yeah, my Xbox had a Bluray. Okay, my Xbox did. Yeah.
Oh well, anyway, but
I never bought one. That's for sure.
Just because it gets greenlit doesn't mean anything. So I don't think the green lighting thing is.
Yeah. I mean, TV shows are a little different, but yes.
I mean. Yeah.
Do you want to be a negative Nancy?
I do.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, it wasn't like the news you want to hear is, hey, guess what, guys? Season 4 is greenlit, and I'm hoping we'll get that news eventually. But this was kind of like a little bit, I guess it's definitive that what they're looking at is a financial motivation to continue to make the series, right?
Of course.
Yeah. And so
they're a business.
Right. Again, like this is it's again, I'm not speaking to you, Joe. I'm speaking to, I guess, listeners of ours who may have been very upset by hearing this news, right?
I will say this too, in Prime, right? They're very young, right? They're in the sense of like making video content, TV shows and movies. They've only been doing this for how many years? Less than 10 years?
Less than 10 years, yeah.
Right. So they're also going to be acting differently than maybe some of these bigger. Well, although Sony's involved in it though, so.
Yeah, I think, it's not a cheap show to make.
No.
Right? It's not. And while the first season, I think, performed ahead of expectations, the second season didn't perform ahead of expectations. I think that they expected it to be bigger. And I don't know if it was, but it wasn't, right? It wasn't bigger. I don't even know if it was as big necessarily in regards to like its initial output. But I also think it's an odd thing to, if Prime Video is looking at like who signs up for Prime to watch this series as a key indicator about whether this series is successful or not, like that's kind of believing that your subscribers to your video content don't like any other video content you put out. Like they're immediately going to unsubscribe and then subscribe again at the next season. Like it's kind of odd. Like I don't know if they
People
include
do that all the time. They'll do the free subscription, the free trial and binge watch a couple of shows. And
yeah. No, I know. I'll tell you, I've done that for other streaming services, right? Which I didn't like. Like there wasn't enough content, or in the case of Paramount Plus, their user interface was so bad that I was like, we have to get out of it. It's not. I can't watch anything. But Prime Video's got a lot of shows that are decent.
It's not. You're not just paying for the video, right? You're getting the whole Prime. TV shipping and all of that other stuff. So.
Yes.
Most people who are signing up for Prime aren't probably signing up for the video streaming.
No, but again, that is one of the ways that they judge whether a show is successful or not.
Yeah.
It's an odd metric.
I don't know if Amazon does that necessarily, right? But that's how a lot of streaming services do. Mm-hmm. I wonder if Amazon doesn't because of that. Like you're not just paying for the streaming.
Yeah.
So like while Netflix and Max can do it because that's all they do is provide video content. It's easier to tie those two together. I feel like Amazon, I don't know.
They should release the show on Prime Day, so all the people who sign up for Prime to get free
or Christmas,
Prime
right
Day
around
deals,
Christmas, like around Thanksgiving. Like I wonder if a ton of people signed up for.
Well,
Prime
they did that for the first season.
Yeah.
It was in November.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder, so like, how do you know that's not Christmas subscribers?
Maybe the second one was like back to school subscribers.
Yes.
So
getting all those hot back to school sales.
I was looking, Sarah Nakamura from the show responded to John's video and some of the drama that was around that in a very long, detailed thread. But she talks about some of this stuff. So she says, when it comes to streaming platforms, the biggest thing they look for with Premiere is not viewership, it's new subscriptions. How many people bought a subscription in the 24 hours prior to the release? And on a platform like Amazon, to Joe's point, it's even harder to quantify because they offer other services than just streaming. So bottom line, it's all about that new customer acquisition. Then comes the question of sustainability, right? So like what they're looking at is, right, how many people sign up and then I guess how many people stay on, right? And those are two things. And although she did say that now that Amazon has ad revenue, that hours watched could be a third indicator, right? So they're getting
Yes, because
if they're
that's
able
how
to
they're
sell
getting paid, right? The advertisers are probably paying
right, which is really more how traditional television works. It doesn't make a difference what the quality of the show is or how much it costs. If you could sell ads on it, then that's all that people care about.
Yes.
Right.
So maybe this is a good sign for us. I mean, we all complained that we're going to have to watch ads unless you pay for the higher subscription. But this could be a good thing for Wheel of Time.
That's right.
Because if it gets the views, then they make it the money. And if they
Maybe we
make it
should
the
buy
money,
some
they make it
ad
another
time.
season.
Let's buy some ad time on the Wheel of Time.
That's probably a lot of money. You can check with them.
Okay, I'll check.
Email them. Ask
will.
them how much ad space is. Well, it wouldn't be. I don't think you get to pick which shows, right? You probably just sign up for some sort of package and they'll just play it during all of their shows.
I don't think that our show would be a good
they don't care
fit
as long
for
as you
any
give
of
them-
the other shows.
As long as you give them the money.
I care.
I hope they
think we
do.
have
I
a
hope.
choice, is what I'm saying.
I hope they put on. I don't know. I can't think of another show that would be on soon, other than the Boys is done. I hope like Red, White, and Blue 2 or whatever the name of that show, like that movie was. If the sequel comes out and halfway through a romantic scene, there's just a commercial for the three of us.
That would be pretty cool.
Hey,
Are we ready?
Pretty hot, huh?
Are we ready to do a little character deep diving?
I guess.
It's been a while. Jen, you don't seem enthused. You were talking about getting hot and sweaty for this, and now you're I guess.
I am enthused.
Are you too hot and too sweaty?
I
Is
thought
that
you
the
was
point?
going to say I am hot and sweaty.
I am also hot and sweaty.
You've tipped the point of hot and sweaty being like a kind of like, cool, sexy thing to like, now I'm just too hot and too sweaty, and that's just not cool anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
It's past tantalizing and now it's just uncomfortable.
Yeah. Uncomfortable. All right.
Most of my sexual experiences.
We are going to be talking today about Galad Damodred. Remember that, his full
What?
name?
Say that again?
I don't know if you pronounce that correct.
Galadadred?
I think it's Galadadred.
Galadadred. Yeah.
Galadadred. You added an extra D, I think.
Galadadred. No, that's
No.
Galadadred.
Galadadred.
Galadadred?
Yeah.
Galadadred. That's what
Sounds
I
like
said.
a lot of
Galadadred Damodred. That's really
Galadadred?
mean.
Galad
It's just mean.
Galadadred.
No. What are you? Galad, but it's Galad.
Galadadred?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Galadadred.
Unique New York.
What if it's Galad?
Galadadred.
Galadadred.
Galad.
Jen, I'm putting you on the spot because I forgot to
Put me on.
remind you before. Do you have the first appearance of
Oh my God, I don't.
I put you on the spot there. I forgot to ask you about that before to have it ready.
Oh man.
What is it? I have the eye of the world here.
Oh, do you want to read it sometime?
Oh yeah, it is.
It's in
I
the eye
guess
of
you
the
could do
world.
it.
I gotta find
Tom.
it.
Fine.
We can pause for a moment here while Tom finds this.
I don't want to get up.
He's got the book in his hands, so.
I know, but I'm gonna see if I can.
While Tom looks that up, I'll give us a little background, a little color for Galad, as we'll call him for short. He was born in 970 of the new era, so he's 28 years old when our story starts. He was born to Tigraine Mantir, who was then the daughter heir of Andor, and his father was Galad Damodred. He was subsequently abandoned by his awful mother at the age of 2. She disappeared. You know that story. His father remarried, so Tarangail remarried Morgase Traken, who was the next in line for the throne. So you can see a little pattern here. And then they had 2 more children, Gowan and Elaine, who are Galad's half-brother and sister. Now, Galad's mother do we know, did she marry Janduin? They married, right? I don't remember if it's explicitly said.
I don't remember if they did or not.
She
was still a maiden.
She was still a maiden. So maybe they didn't, but they
yeah, I don't know if they did.
The 2 of them became lovers and had another child who we know as Randall Thor. So that's Galad's got 3 half siblings: Rand, Gowan, and Elaine. Interesting. And then after Tarangale died in a hunting accident, Galad was raised by his stepmother, Morgaze, and considers her his mother. Tom, I think you have something for us.
I do, Joe. I'm not going to do this as well as Jen does, but here we go. From the Eye of the World, chapter 40, the Web Titans. What's this? All 3 of them jumped at the sudden voice and spun to face it. The young man who stood there was the handsomest man Rand had ever seen, almost too handsome for masculinity. He was tall and slender, but his movements spoke of whipcord strength and a sure confidence. Dark of hair and eye, he wore his clothes only a little less elaborate in red and white than Gowan's, as if they were of no importance. One hand rested on his sword hilt, and his eyes were steady on Rand. Stand away from him, Elaine, the man said. You too, Gowan. That's the first appearance.
Wow. Thank you, Tom. That was good.
Well, thank you, Joe. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Eye of the World. So, yeah, that's the scene when Rand falls over the wall trying to see Logain, right, into the garden and meets Elaine, Gowan, and Galad.
That's right. And Galad follows by immediately calling for the guards because that's what the rules tell him to do.
That's right. He always does what's right no matter what, which is really annoying. Or at least Elaine finds it annoying. I think she says in that a few lines later that she hates him and that he's like awful.
You don't understand. He's so bad.
But Gowan actually looks up to him. And I didn't remember this, but Galad actually saved Gowan's life twice on 2 separate occasions. So I didn't remember that. I feel like that's kind of like Robert Jordan saying, okay, like he's annoying, but he's really a good guy.
Yeah, I think that your any dislike that you have of Galad in the beginning comes from the fact that you're hearing about him a lot through Elaine, who really doesn't like him for not particularly good reasons. I think we've talked about this in a different show, possibly when like we found out that Galad was going to be on the show when we think we found out his casting. But like it can be really annoying that you have somebody who always does the right thing no matter what. But
of course, especially when you're a kid.
Right.
Well, I mean, like, teenager. Even when you're a kid, but yeah, being a teenager, that's even more so got to be annoying.
But think about who Elaine is and how Elaine strives to always be the queen, the daughter heir everywhere she is and always be perfect everywhere she is. And you've got this guy who's like actually just perfect. Like you think seemingly without trying.
She's jealous,
so,
you think?
I think not only is she jealous, but I think she finds it very frustrating when she's like, when she doesn't do the right thing and is immediately like gets in trouble for it,
I'm excited to see the interaction between like Elaine and Gowan and Galad in the show, like how they're gonna, like the chemistry, how that's gonna work. I think could be a lot of fun.
Me too. Let me ask you this, just blanket. Since we're getting into this, we usually talk about it at the end. Do you think Galad is going to be the same in the show? Do you think you're going to have someone that is like, like who is for anything else, who always does what he believes is right, and like, but isn't of like that's usually like the characteristic of like some kind of like, like whatever, like that's what you could describe Valda like that, like he'll like that right justifies might, but like he's not like that. He's gonna do the good, what he thinks is good, as well as what he thinks is right. So like Do you think he's going to be the same way, and that's going to be his defining character trait?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you don't do that, you take away who Galad is.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, his defining characteristic. That is his defining characteristic.
Other than
what's the point of
he's
having him? Unless you're gonna
really ridiculously good looking.
Yeah.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
I would say that unless you're combining him with another character, then I could see you getting a different personality because you're maybe bringing that other character's personality because he's got to fill some other role. Like he can be Elaine's brother, half brother, but he needs to be kind of doing stuff that this other character does to help us, move the story along. That's the only reason or way I see him being a different type of character.
I feel like we already had like a handsome, good white cloak. Like, I mean, Dane's going to be like a completely different character next season, I think. But
they're all these people are ridiculously good looking. So it's.
I know. But Dane isn't like that in the book. He's like an asshole from jump.
True.
He's not handsome. I mean, he could be handsome, but like we don't.
I don't think.
That.
I think when we did the Dane character, there was no mention of how attractive he was. So
yeah,
I'm
he's
guessing
just like.
he wasn't.
I mean, whatever. You're right. Everybody's handsome and like beautiful on the show, so it doesn't really matter. But, I don't know. But I think you need Galad to like reform the White Cloaks if we get there.
Yeah.
If that's part of the story.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be, I guess.
That's his story.
I would say,
so
I don't. You like if you don't have him do that, then you don't need there's no other purpose to have Galad in the story at all.
Or I mean, you could cut the White Cloaks out. You can cut the White Cloaks out totally. Then,
but they haven't done that. The White Cloaks are like important to the show. I just did the same thing, by the way.
I know. We're all staring at what everyone doesn't know is we're looking at white clocks right now, and that's why we keep saying that.
Just the room's filled with them. I can't help it.
I don't think that Galad necessarily needs a story of his own.
So you're saying he's just going to be in a few scenes, maybe in the background,
he might
and pop up here and there.
I mean,
just be handsome.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he has to. There has to be a reason why he's there at all, but I don't know.
He might just maybe he serves a purpose for season 3, and then they don't really need him anymore.
Possible.
He dies.
Part
handsomely.
So one of the other things that Galad is known for is his exceptional skill with the sword. He's also good with like military strategy and tactics, but when he goes to the White Tower and he's training with the warders, he actually beats Hamar, who's the water trainer, who is also a blade master. They mention in the books like 3 out of 5 times. So he's
like, doesn't beat Matt Cawthon.
He does not beat Matt Cawthon.
Like 2 to 1.
2 to 1.
Mean, he was also trained, from basically from birth by Gareth Bryn, who's the Captain General of the Queen's Guard, and then the Master of Swords. This guy, I did not remember his name or knew it even existed. Henry Haslin, who's the Master of Swords. Yeah, Henry, or maybe Henri.
I think he may end up going to the Black Tower and training them in sword fighting. Because he does. By Robin. Yeah.
Yep.
Look at that.
Wow, Tom. How the hell did you pull that one out of your ass?
It's in there, man. It's baked in.
That's when he's mentioned, I think. He's not mentioned early on in the story. I think it's when he gets sent to the Black Tower. And then Taim dismisses him. Taim thinks it's useless to learn about swords.
Right.
Silly swords. So we talked about the first time Galad appears. He also is in a bit of the Great Hunt, right? So which is what we were just talking about, training as a warder. He meets Nynaeve and Egwene, and Egwene starts crushing on him. I'm wondering, is any of this going to happen, do you think? Well, you don't... If they go back to the White Tower, Galad would likely be there, right?
Yes.
Does Egwene meet Galad, or even Gowan for that matter? in this
I don't
season.
know. So when we were talking about season 2, before season 2 came out, a lot of the things, a lot of problems I have with season 2 is like, we literally have no idea what Matt's doing.
Mhm.
Spoiler alert, not much.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I feel about Egwene in season 3. I have a good idea what Rand's gonna do and what Moraine and Lan are gonna be. I have a pretty good idea what the other girls are gonna be and Matt's gonna be. I don't know where Egwene's gonna be.
She's going to be training with the Aiel. I don't think they're not going to take that out of the story.
So then she's not going back to the tower.
Why can't she go back to the tower and then go to the waste?
Because what is she gonna halfway through? She's just gonna go to Rodian by herself.
Maybe the wise ones, the Dreamwalkers, like figure a way to like teleport her there through Teller and Riyadh or something.
So they already know traveling.
No, maybe they do it through Teller and Riyadh.
That's how Egwene figures out traveling. Right, is to do it through Teller and Riyadh. That's how she figures it out.
Oh. But I don't.
It could be them. That's fine. I
Yeah.
don't have a problem with that.
Well, they don't have to discover traveling. They can just right. She just figures out traveling because it's similar, right? She like uses her experience, right? Is
She
that-
creates a portal into Teller and Riyadh, takes a portal out. She realizes I can just do that and then have no difference, and that's what traveling is. I'm pretty sure. how it
Oh,
works.
okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So, yeah, maybe they do. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I think similarly, if Gowan doesn't develop a relationship with Egwene, then there's literally no reason for him to be in the series.
Is Galad gonna? What I'm saying is Egwene gonna have?
So
a crush on
you're
Galad?
gonna have this.
No,
You know what the show needs? More love triangles.
I don't think that Elaine,
It's going to be a
Egwene.
love square coming up soon.
I think Egwene switching from Galad to Gowan is like very. It's almost like she just liked the way Galad looked, and now she likes Gowan.
Yeah.
So I don't think you even need to have that in there.
Yeah. All right. I believe it. So we're pretty sure that he's gonna. So just like thinking about the characteristics of Galad, we're pretty sure we think that he's going to have the same personality type as he does in the books. Is always do good or right. Will he be as skilled with the sword? Do you think? Is that a character trait that they're gonna continue with in the show?
I wouldn't be surprised if they tone that down a little bit and make it a progression, because like he's pretty much assumed to be like the best with the sword forever all the time, and then it's supposed to be a big deal that he beats a Blade Master at the end. But like he said, he beats a Blade Master 3 out of 5 times, like in book 2.
Yeah.
So like I think it would, and this show seems to really be slow rolling people learning how to fight. So like
Not use the one power though.
I think it would be good if it was like he's very good with the sword and then he's continually working and getting better at it, and it's still like kind of an underdog thing for him.
Well, he's
if
also
he has that fight at the end.
28, so he's much old. He's like in his prime right now. So I don't know why they would
It's
slow
true.
roll it. I mean, they're not
They
aging
can just
him
make
down.
him good with a sword. They just don't have to make him like
But
I don't know. There's a
would
few people in the
imagine-
book that are the most deadly people.
I
and he's one of them.
imagine though, if you were, learning the sword, you would be. If you weren't a blade master by the time you were, or close to a blade master by the time you're 30, then it's probably not going to happen.
Okay.
So I don't mind him being already really good because of his age and because he's been trained by some of the best military and fighting minds around. I think it would be good to keep it. I hope they keep it. I want to see some people fight with swords. That's some besides land. One thing about him, while he is always does the right thing or always does good or what he thinks is good or the right thing, he never boasts about any of his talents, about how handsome he is or how good of a swordsman he is or how good he is at military strategy. Never boasts about it. And I think maybe that might be the more annoying part.
Yeah, I will say this. He doesn't have humility about it either. He
No.
just accepts it as this is what it is. Like
Yeah.
like there's a scene in
He doesn't understand if people would be like jealous of him or whatever.
No, but
And,
like
and that
there's
makes it more annoying.
there's like a part in, I guess it's in Samara, like in the, like
Oh,
when
I'm not that good of a swordsman. What are you talking about? And it's like, come on, buddy.
no, like Elaine's got like two of the Shinarans with her, and like he shows up and they like get on guard, and he's just dismissive of the fact that they're threatening him because he just knows he can beat them both in combat. And I'm like, so it's not like he doesn't like he doesn't have to boast that like I'm the greatest swordsman in Andor. I can take the two of you on. But he's also, and I think you're right. Like, this is the annoying thing. He's just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think that might be part of the more annoying part of it. So,
Do you think Galad tries to be good for his whole life because he thinks that something he did made his mother leave?
so
So he's constantly trying to
Yes.
be the best person he could be for the rest of his whole life.
Yes. I think he did,
That's
and I
so
also
sad.
think he does it because he has a stepmother who didn't have to by anything, took him in and raised him as his son, her son, and like I think he's honestly like grateful for that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like and like sees it as like this is the way I should repay the world for like the. But I think you're spot on, Jen. Spot on.
Dana Lou's saying in chat that, she's sure he wasn't good enough for his father. So maybe Tarangale also put that pressure on him that he wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I could see Tarangale saying like it was his fault, like blaming it on him just to be.
Oh God! Now you're really poor.
You gotta put that
All right,
character
everybody.
development in there.
Oh my God! Now everybody, listen to this. If you can say you still think Galad's annoying after what Jen just said, and it's probably true that A, he thinks it's his fault that his mother left, and B, that Tarangale probably told him as much, then you gotta feel
You
for
little
Galad.
jerk.
Oh man, I wish Jordan put that in the books.
Yeah, I think I don't think that's digging too deep. Let's put it that way. I don't think that's like stretching for something. I think that Jen's spot on with that. You know.
Wow. So we have a Galad, his cast. Well, before I go into that, right? So eventually, this is what I wanted to ask about the TV show. So right in the Shadow Rising, Galad receives a copy of The Way of the Light from Im and Valda. And then, eventually he joins the Children of the Light. Do you think we're going to get that scene in season 3? I mean, we have a Valda cast already. I mean, it's a scene to put him in to keep him like, reminder of him being a character in the show. I'd like to see that scene.
Yeah, I think I would be surprised if that's like if episode 8 has a little bit, which the show doesn't normally do this. It had like the one like it has a one post credit sting, but I would be surprised if this season had a little bit of like falling action kind of stuff where there's just a few scenes in the last episode to set things up for future seasons. And yeah, I think that I always forget until I do a reread that Swan and her behavior is what drives Galad to the White Cloaks.
Yeah, he's
And,
looking
like-
for answers, just like Gowan. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
yeah,
what also
like
drives Gowan.
chalk
to
up
Elida.
another thing that Swan is one of the worst Amerlins ever.
Yeah,
So like
she doesn't. She misjudges and underestimates the two of them.
yeah, and
She pushes them
so
aside like they weren't important.
yeah, and treats them they're men, Joe. So I think that's yeah, I think that they should the show would be doing disservice if it didn't push that storyline along this season.
Yeah, I'd like to see that scene for sure. That'd be an interesting little one of those off-screen or off-page events that I think would do nice in the show, and it doesn't have to be that long either. It's not like it's got to be like a 5-minute scene. So a while back, right, Watts Series had posted an article that they discovered that Callum Kerr would be playing Galad. He was listed as Galad Traken, and we talked about this back then when this piece of news came out back in July of last year. Yeah, his CV listed him as Galad Traken. Have your thoughts changed about that? Do you think they're actually changing his name in the show, or that was just, they just put that in there as a mistake, or that's just what they put in the casting or something? I don't know.
I mean, I think it's fine because I think he could just take on Morgase's name because she like adopted him or whatever, and the other kids have her name because she's the queen. And also it's like another cousin of Moraine's, even though that's how the book is, but it's like,
well, they're royalty.
Like,
there's lots of cousins.
There's like no reason to. I don't know if there's any reason to like put that in there because it doesn't mean anything for the story that they're related, really. So like, if you put it in, people are gonna be like waiting for like the big Galad reveal and what it has to do with Moraine, and like it doesn't have anything. So
yeah,
like maybe just leave it out.
They could still they could still connect his father and Moraine if they want to, but I would guess just for the simplicity, for viewers' sake, with all the names, like let's just put his last name the same as the other two, so everyone easily remembers that he's related to them.
Right.
So
I think that's fine. It makes sense anyway. Like they took her name. He's their mother now. She's his mother now. So that's it.
Who is your daddy? And what does he do?
He did.
That was me, people. That wasn't a drop. That wasn't.
Can you believe it?
That was me.
Well done.
Like 80% Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I figured the listeners might not know.
Okay.
But the viewers knew, so I wanted them to be on equal footing. So first scene, right? When are we going to see Galad? Where are we going to see him? What are your thoughts? We read the first scene. Obviously, he appears in the books. That's not going to happen in the show. Some things that happen in the Great Hunt, and the Dragon Reborn is, well, I mean, the only things really that he's involved with. Like I said, he shows up at the tower to train as a warder. So I mean, also there's the fight with Matt, right? Him and Gowan fight with Matt. But we do know that there's going to be at least one scene in the Royal Palace in Camelin, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's his first scene.
Episode 1, cold open.
Yeah.
Cold open.
Go get my daughter back.
Go bring your sister
reveal.
back home.
I would say
no one cares about it except us.
Either cold open or if episode 1's all in Falm, that could be like hot close episode 1 as well.
Sure.
Yeah, one way or the other. Like that's an episode. I agree with Jen. Episode
that could
1.
be a whole season arc there, but you wouldn't really do that with two characters you're just introducing to the show. But I don't know, maybe you do. Wouldn't that be interesting if the whole show, the arc for the entire season was Gowan and Galad trying to find out what the hell's going on with Elaine? I think I mean, that's
they're going to spend time with her, and then they're going to be like, I think when the girls get back to the tower, they will already be there and be frustrated because no one told them where Elaine was, and Elaine doesn't tell them. And then Elaine's going to get sent out again, and that's when they're going to lose their minds.
Mm-hmm.
You
which is kind of what happens in the books. Yeah. I like it. So then we get that intro scene of the royal family and Elida in the royal palace in Camelin and Andor. Yeah, I think that makes sense. First scene of the show, probably episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
So Callum Kerr, he's a pretty handsome looking dude. He's not how I pictured Galad because they always mention like, oh, he's so handsome, he's almost not.
He's like beautiful.
He's too handsome for being masculine. Like maybe
Yeah.
So I mean, Callum Kerr looks pretty masculine.
Yeah. Callum Kerr's got like a huge. Callum Kerr's like more of the Gaston masculinity with the giant, strong jaw.
Angular face, and he's got, well, at least in this picture, he's got some beard going there.
He posts nothing, not even like a whisper of this at all because still follow him on Instagram, but
Yeah, he posts a lot about
since
his
he
music
said
career,
something,
right?
his music is
Yeah.
he's like a Scottish country singer that lives in America now, trying to make it's weird.
Yeah, he was born in Scotland.
Yeah, what's his face is Australian.
Who?
The one who was married to
Toby Keith?
No, not Toby Keith. Keith Urban?
Oh, Keith Urban.
Mm.
I got the Keith part right.
You did.
Toby Keith Urban. Carl Urban.
Yeah, all right. I mean, he's got a good voice, but
yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
He's definitely handsome. Everyone looks better on the show anyway, so.
Yeah. I think I'm not sure how old he is, but I'm sure he's around the age, probably a little older than Galad, but all those people are older anyway, so I don't think it really matters. They're kind of aging everyone up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of curious to know, like we haven't heard anything about Gowan. We think we might know who Gowan is, right? Luke Featherston is potentially a Gowan. He kind of has a similar look to Callum Kerr, and he seems more of a Galad looking person though than I would have expected. Like he's extremely handsome too.
Yeah,
they're all handsome.
He's more of a Galad. He's got more of a softer look to him, where I could say like that would be more of my pick for Galad.
But I picture
he's prettier.
He's prettier, but I picture Gowan as like a weaker version of Galad.
But that's, I mean,
in like every sense of the word.
Weaker.
Like just like not as handsome, not as strong, emotionally, not as good with the sword, not as smart. Just everything.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at their inspirations, you're spot on. Like, you know, like Sir Gawain is like, you know, morally compromised, and you know Galad is like the perfect knight, right? So
yeah. So what is his arc going to be? What do you think Galad's arc's going to be for this season? Is it did I already say it when I just said like it's just finding what's going on with Elaine, or what do you?
Yeah, I could say him and Gowan, once the coup goes down, just not being in the rest of the season.
Well, well, Gowan stays, right? So I could see. So then, do we see? I don't remember. Galad's not in the tower at this point, right?
No, he's already left. He leaves before the coup.
Oh, okay.
He joins the White Cloaks.
I mean, I could see him leaving during the coup potentially, but that doesn't seem like it's his character to do that.
No, I think he would have to leave before then. Yeah.
Leave? Would he join the White Cloaks like 3 episodes into us meeting him and leave, or would he have had that plan to do that already and he's just like doing this first?
Maybe maybe it's like a situation where like they're wondering where Elaine is, and like Gowan's like, all right, I'll stay here at the White Tower in case she shows up here and to try to find out more about where she is, and you go out and look for her, type of deal.
I also think this season, this is going to be months of time. Like, it's not going to be like a 2-week period of time, right? If they are introduced in episode 1 and he joins the White Cloaks in episode 7, that's enough time for him to, you know, for him to be that. And I think all you need to do is have him reading Luther's book like throughout the series, and like Galad, like Gowan needling him about it or whatever,
passages of it for the viewer out loud.
Right. He's like, and then you have you don't reveal where he got it from until in episode 7 you see him with Valda, and Valda's, you know, just tells him you've made the right decision. And then you have the coup in episode 8.
You've made the right choice.
But everyone hates Valda. Yes, 2 slings. Everyone hates Valda. Like even the other White Cloaks hate him. It's not like the same
all
guy.
Of them hate him. I think some of them like him a lot, probably. Well,
yeah.
Well, they do in the books, at least.
You are
but he's a totally
seeing
different
Valda.
person.
Valda through the two best white cloaks, if you can have a good white cloak, right? You're seeing him through their eyes. But like, yeah, I think Joe's right. I think a lot of people are like, this guy's got the right idea. Let's get the brushes out.
Start scrubbing.
Let's start scrubbing.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I'm thinking for his arc for season 3, it's a go find Elaine type of deal. And then I'm guessing he stumbles on the White Cloaks. As I think you can do it, right? He's looking for a sister, just like I said before. Like you give, I can't remember why Galad leaves. He does join the White Cloaks, but is it to join?
That's
the
why
White
he
Cloaks?
leaves.
He does leave to join the White Cloaks. He's already like met Valda, like just hanging around Tarvalon.
Yeah, literally,
like that,
and that's
right?
what happens in book 4. He's reading the book in like the courtyard, and they're like, "That book's gross, man."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Some of the stuff they're saying makes a lot of sense." Then he just leaves and joins the White Cloaks.
All right, so I see it a little differently. I'm gonna say what I said before, that they're looking for Elaine, and Gowan says, "I'll stay here in case she shows up, or I'll try to find out more from the sisters or whoever else is there at the White Tower. You go out and see what you can find." He meets Valda in a bar after that, after leaving already. Valda starts chatting him up, and they talk about the books, and then all, bada bing, bada boom, yada, yada, yada. He becomes a White Cloak. That's my prediction for Galad for season 3.
Jen, how many times will he be shirtless in this season?
Gowan or Valda?
Galad. Neither.
I mean, Galad or Valda?
Galad Damodred.
How many times will they be shirtless?
It's the over-under on that. Once?
In the warder yard, and the novices and accepted are looking at him.
Yeah. Are we going to get a Matt thrashing of Gowan and Galad in this season?
Yes. Yes,
it
we
means
are.
Matt's going back to the tower too. I mean, if Matt's going back to the tower, then Egwene can go back to the tower too.
I don't want to do this season of what we think is going to happen, because I have literally no clue. So let's not do that this time.
You don't want to do it this time? I thought it makes it more fun since we have no
I have
clue.
actually no idea what's going to happen.
I think we didn't have really much of what's going to happen in season 2 either. There was like,
didn't we do it like
Swirls
once
of-
and then we did it again after the trailer came out?
yeah, we're
Like
not
we
going to do that
adjusted it.
again. We're not adjusting anything. We got to do it. It's better when we don't even know.
I don't know.
It's something.
It's something, Jen. It's something. Unless the show gets released like at the end of this year.
No,
we don't have time. But
that will not happen.
something tells me we'll know more
Hmm.
after New York Comic Con. That's all I'm going to say.
I would love to know more after New York Comic Con.
Yeah. Something tells me we're going to get something, like maybe a teaser. Not a trailer, but
Whoa.
a teaser and a release date.
Really?
Whoa.
Or not a date, maybe even just like a
Not
month.
a release date. Yeah.
Like March
This
2025.
season.
Spring
like this spring
2025.
or this
Something
winter.
like that.
This fall.
That's my prediction for New York Comic Con. But we'll talk about that, I think, as it gets closer. Which is still a couple months away. As we got nothing at San Diego Comic Con. I mean, I don't think I was expecting to get anything, but that was a big Rings of Power push, which makes sense because the show starts at the end of this month. So
Yeah, this is the time to push that show.
yeah, which leaves Wheel of Time for New York Comic Con.
That's right. It's already been done.
I'm
already
gonna keep my fingers crossed for that. So we got to get some tickets. Danny's asking when it's October. Tickets already went on sale. It's like the middle of
they're
October.
probably sold out
It's like
already.
the 17th, 16th, 15th, somewhere around that time.
Mm-hmm.
Tickets are probably sold out already, so we have to figure that out. Anyway, any more thoughts about Galad before we wrap this up? You want to dive a little deeper into his psyche and see what other damages we can uncover?
Joe, I have so many thoughts about Galad.
Really?
But you know what? You know what, Joe? He's a damaged little boy. But
That's all
I
he
can
is
fix
inside.
him. I can fix him.
You can fix
I can
him.
make him better. I
All
can
right.
heal him, Joe.
Oh yeah, I bet you Nynaeve could heal him.
Well, yeah, she probably could.
I don't think Jen's
not the way I can heal.
I don't think Jen's talking the same way, Joe.
Like,
Uh,
so I want to ask one last question, unless you guys want to ask any more questions. But since we're getting a Galad, does that mean we're getting Tom, someone who we left off the list, the most main character list, who should have been on the list, Berylene?
oh yeah.
Oh,
She wasn't on that
Are we
list.
getting Berylene?
And I think we also forgot like Logain or somebody like that.
Yeah, there's a couple of people we didn't put on.
I mean, Beryleen's an excuse for a girl in a tight dress with her boobs popping out, so probably we're gonna get Berylene because that's what people like to see on television.
That's true.
I'm just
We
gonna
do
leave it
like
at
to see
that.
that.
Maybe
People do like to see that. I mean,
next season. Berylene.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, I
You hear
hope
him-
so.
A mention of Mayen, like a floating mention of the country of Mayen during this season at some point.
is it Mayana even considered a country, or is it like a nation state or something like that?
City state.
No, it's
City state.
yeah.
I don't remember.
I wouldn't be. I mean, whatever. We haven't heard anything, so probably not. But like, they can just have her show up there in Falm in the beginning of this season, the same way that she shows up in Tyr, and says like, "Hey, you're the dragon. I'll be your friend. Please help me protect me from Tyr." Like,
I don't know.
yeah, I think you need to have Berylene. She's so tied in to Perrin's storyline. You know.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone have anything else?
No.
Nope.
All right, Galad, episode 1, season 3. We're gonna see him.
Yep. That's it.
We'll see you
Lock it
there
in.
too.
Nothing will ever be the same again.
No. I want to thank everyone for listening. You can follow us on social media. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Join us over in Discord to continue the conversation there. We also post our episodes on YouTube, so be sure to go to our YouTube page and like and subscribe. Rate and review us wherever you listen to podcasts. And check out our merchandise and Patreon pages to support it that way. Links to all the aforementioned information are included in the show notes to this episode. Last words, Jen, Tom. Happy birthday again, Tom.
Oh, thank you, Joe.
Do we have a new patron?
Do we?
I think we might.
Oh,
I can't tell. It says a week ago. We didn't do a show a week ago.
I
So I'm
don't,
thinking I
Then
probably
yes.
didn't announce this person.
I don't.
Go for it.
okay.
Oh, we did do it. Oh, no, we didn't. We were supposed to. Okay, anyway, I think this is a new person, but if not...
Should I? Hold on. I'll lead you into it.
Okay.
Hey, Jen, do we have any new patrons to thank?
We do, Joe. Joining the company of Chelvannon, we have Caerin. Caeryn. Caerin. So thank you very much, Caerin, for joining
Thank
us
you, Karen.
over on
Yeah.
Patreon. And to all of our patrons, we love you. Thank you for supporting us.
Yeah. We just dropped some bonus content about a week ago. So if you haven't listened to that, patrons, go check it out. And if you're not in the company of Chelvannon, you best join the company of Chelvannon.
It's a good one. I
Because
think
there
it's
is
a good
no
one.
company better than the company of Chelvannon.
Cheljannon. What about that
Cheljannon.
company?
That's is that Bilal? No, is that Samael?
Forgot
Teljannon?
already.
Samael.
Cheljannon.
Samael.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I just had a great idea for bonus content.
Go for it.
No, I'm not saying it. It's a
Oh.
secret.
Well, thanks everyone
I'll
for
tell you.
listening. and you'll hear us next time.